Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here, the Atakline, for this Monday, August 31st, 2015. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I did. A lot of good things happened for me. Starting with a lot of going to live fairs. I went to Genesee County on Tuesday and Satellite County on Friday, which were both fun. Besides that, gigs and concerts. Starting with the gigs. Thursday, first home game for Romeo High School football team being their home opener tailgate against Oxford. And I got there late, which I knew if there's a football game in Romeo that has a lot of things going on before it, like if they have inflatables or chili cook-off or something to attract people before the show, people show up before 6. But if nothing's going on, they show up after 6. So I showed up after 6 because no one was there until 6. It was a tough groove because not a lot of people were there in the parking lot. Not a lot of people came up to where I was next to the box office till like 6:30. It was only a small sprint of people who bought their tickets, went straight to the stadium, and then hung around. Usually they hang around, but not this past Thursday. It was just okay. We'll see how it is this Thursday. We got another tailgate for Romeo, and it's 90 degrees. I've done a tailgate once in the heat, and no one came till at least 7. So we shall see what happens with that. But we also had another gig on Saturday. I had a gig on Saturdays, which was a block party. I've done a block party for years for Liberty Woods. But now I've done another block party for another area. Low Drive in Warren. And it was absolutely terrific. It sprinkled a little bit. It rained a little bit, but it didn't ruin the show. I was under the canopy, so my stuff was safe. Very diverse crowd. I was there for like 8 hours. I didn't play the entire time because it was like maybe like an hour and a half that I took a break for a band. Question 11 to give me a little break. We were pretty good actually. I liked the variety of alternative rock and classic rock blended with my sound. So like the afternoon was full of kids. A lot of kids. There was like at least 300 people. It was crazy. A lot of kid stuff dominated early on, but then we did like the usual kiddie dance like Uptown Funk, Cupid Shuffle. That went well. Let's know some classic rocking like Journey, Def Leppard, AC/DC. Some easy 90s. A lot of stuff went well. Some country. A little bit of country. And some gangster. Like the last hour, we played a lot more gangster because the kids were requesting it. Like Trap Queen and I Can't Feel My Face, all that great stuff. So it was a great night on Saturday. And it was offset by a great event I went yesterday at DTE Pine Knob. The Oddball Festival, Funny and Die Oddball Festival. I went last year and I thoroughly enjoyed it last year. So I went again this year. And although I think last year was a little bit better, a little bit more consistent. But this year was still strong. And the comparisons between last year's set in Detroit and this year's festival in Detroit was so noticeable. Last year, the lineup focused more on names that only diehard County fans would know, like Billboard and also Jim Jeffries, people that casual fans may not have heard of. Thus, half the lawn was empty. And me and my dad we got upgraded to pavilion because it was so empty. This year, with more casual comedic names that casual fans know, like Amy Schumer, In Season Sorry, Anthony Jeselnik, and Jeff Walsh, the lawn at Pine Knob was the most packed I've seen it this year. More people than at Tim McGraw. It was a bitch to find a seat. The beer lines were crazy. A lot of young people, a lot of hipsters. People my age, you know. It was a fun night of comedy, and I like this festival. No matter what the lineup is, it's interesting and cool to see comedy outside. Although the main set was a little bit inconsistent, but still strong. Second stage, way more consistent than last year's second stage. Great host and Big J Okerson, who was a great host. It was really funny to get the crowd going for the local comics, who were pretty good as well. A little bit more funny than the last year's local comics. With some guy named Stu McAllister. There was a chick that was really good in that second stage, so very big improvement in second stage wise. Main stage. Nice to see Jeff Ross again. I saw him last year. He was the host of the main set. And He was funny, and probably almost as funny, more funny than I saw him last time. Little roasting jokes. He had roast came even, and he did speed roasting again, like he did when I saw him. Let's say it was kind of weird and interesting and cool to see other people get roasted after I was one of the people that got roasted last year. Because I volunteered, you know. I was like, I I was in their position, you know. I was in those volunteers' position, you know, willingly wanted to get up on stage and get roasted. And be a good sports player like I was. And it was terrific last year. But it was funny to have the shoe on the other foot. Seeing other people get it after I got it last year. So there you go. When it comes to favorite comics on the main stage. See Jeselnik and Amy perform. Amy Schumer. And both were terrific. Again, you know, Jeselnik was like, both had the same thing. They were like Jeff, probably more funnier than when I saw him last time. But it was weird because I've seen Amy and Anthony in the same venue, Royal Oak Music Theater. And to go from seeing him second row in a 2,000 seater to see him in amphitheater on the lawn was crazy. Anthony was on top of his game. He had some great jokes, as usual, with his great delivery, an equal opportunity at Fender. It was awesome as usual. Then Amy, in my mind, the weird headliner. Sorry, NCs, you sucked. To me. Amy was just less sex jokes than the last set, but she was still utterly terrific. The crowd loved her. Because when I saw her a year ago, she wasn't as famous as she is now. You know, she didn't have a movie out yet. She was only in her first season of Inside Amy Schumer and all that great stuff that's been happening lately that hasn't happened when I saw him last time. The rest were decent. I liked Rachel Feinstein, great opener. Seen her at midnight before, and she was pretty good to open up the main set. I liked the pennies joke, the change joke in bed. That was kind of a cool joke. Nick Kroll, huge fan of Kroll's show. It was cool seeing him. And it said it got better as it went along. You know, I love this ender. The ending joke was pretty good too. And he used all the voices that he used for his characters in Kroll's show. That was cool too. Speaking of voices, Jay Farrell from SNL was good, but he lacked originality. He fed on more impressions, and he kind of got any movie comparisons. But he needed his own style to really escape the comparisons to any movie. Bridget Everett is just a freak show. I didn't see why people may be offended by her, but she was like humping people, even an 18-year-old. It was like she went over the line. She went more over the line than Miley did at the VMAs. I'll get to that in a minute or two.
Call from wireless caller.
I'll take care of this and I'll go back.
Wireless caller.
Hello?
So she was like singing free. I've seen her on Amy Schumer shows, which Bridget Everett, but she was just a freak show. And she was the end of the first set. So then on to my thoughts on In Season Sorry, the headliner of the festival. Sorry, Billboard was a better headliner last year in season. His style is not my cup of tea. He was more whiny. He yelled a set, in my opinion. It is style like every other else's styles click for me. I like Anthony's humor. I like Amy Schumer's humor, but in season's humor doesn't appeal to me. Or my dad, who wasn't laughing that much either. Only a few chuckles. And it also disappointed me that TJ Miller wasn't there. I think he would have kicked NC's ass. He was supposed to be in the Detroit gig. He was advertised at first, and he got taken off for some reason. Despite the fact he was in the first two cities. So hope to see him someday. So all in all, Crips aside, still a great night of comedy. Will probably still go next year if it's on a good day again. And maybe a little bit more consistency. Have a fair balance, I think. Have a fair balance. Like last year, like I said, it was more about diehards. Appeasing the diehards. Now it's appeasing the casuals. We need a little bit of both. We need some casual. We need some names casual comedy knows. Some diehards know. We need a balance. Balance of people that casual fans know and what diehards know. To make it a little bit more consistent. That's my opinion. Now with the entertainment news, starting with number ones. Kicking off with number one movie for the third straight week in a row. Straight Outta Compton reigns again with 13 million. One of the new movies that came out this week got destroyed. Especially We Are Your Friends, the Zac Efron DJ movie. Worst opening ever. 1.7 mil. Didn't make the top 5. It got slaughtered. It is the bomb of the year. Well, Owen Wilson's movie, No Escape, made a modest 8 mil. At number 4, a surprise sleeper hit, War Room, hit number 2 with 11 mil. So there you go. Now let's move to Billboard number ones. New number ones across the board. With Luke Bryan's 2-week reign at number 1 ended on the album charts by Disturbed, back after a 5-year hiatus. Back with a new album, Indestructible. I think that's the name of the album. Only the second metal band next to Metallica to have 5 albums go to number 1 on the Billboard charts. So what a way to come back. Congrats to Disturbed. Also, we have a new number 1 single in the Hot 100. Really new old number 1. 2 weeks after Ami kicked it off, The Weeknd, fresh off his great VMA performance, is back at number 1 with I Can't Feel My Face for the second non-consecutive week. So, congrats to you, number 1. Speaking of Weeknd, like I said, it was one of many highlights, if there were any highlights, in this year's MTV VMAs, which were on last night when I was at the Funny or Die thing. Let's get to it. It was entertaining. It was an odd mess. It was like the VMA this year was like a train wreck. You couldn't keep your eyes off it. You just had to keep watching to see what kind of shit would go down, especially with Miley Cyrus hosting. People have their opinions on Miley's hosting duties. Reason why MTV wanted us for ratings. I heard the ratings went down again this year despite Miley hosting. With her nip slip and her numerous outfit changes, her hosting style was okay. I like the skits better than the hosting. Well, the ratings didn't do well. The Twitter, it was the most tweeted event of television last night. And not just most tweeted event of the night, but it was the most tweeted non-Super Bowl event, period, in the U.S. Sparked a total of 24.4 million tweets throughout the show. So congrats to that accomplishment. Now, the big winners. Taylor Swift swept them all, including presenting Kanye's Video Vanguard Award in a very interesting moment. I'll get to that. Taylor swept the awards with her categories 4, including 2 presented off air, Best Pop Video, and Best Female, both for Blank Space, while Bad Blood captured Best Collabo Video and winning Video of the Year over Uptown Funk and Glad I Be Beyonce again. I'm glad Kanye didn't erupt again. Other winners included Beyonce, they were Best Editing. 5 Seconds of Summer won Song of Summer for She's Kinda Hot. I think Cheerleader, I Can't Feel My Face should have won that award. But She's Kinda Hot's okay, at least better than One Direction's new songs. Anyway, other awards. Big Sean winning Best Video with a Social Message with Kanye and John Legend for One Man Can Change the World. Uma Thurman, Fall Out Boy, won Best Rock Video. Trap Queen, Fanny Rap won Best New Artist. Artist to Watch, whatever you want to call it these days. Mark Ronson winning Best Male Video for Uptown Funk with Bruno, presented by Britney. And Nicki Minaj winning for Best Hip Hop Video, Anaconda, which sparked one of the most talked about moments of the entire VMAs. Besides Miley's nip slip and Rebel Wilson's distasteful joke with the fuck the police shirt. Nicki slamming Miley. Now, Miley apparently said some words to the press about Nicki Minaj. During Nicki's speech, she's like, I want to talk to some bitch that called me out on the media. Miley, what's good? Now, rumors will fly that altercation between those two was scripted. But MTV denies it was scripted. It was real. It was real. And it's like the biggest thing of the entire award. So like the biggest talking points, Miley's hosting her shitty song at the end of the show to promote her surprise album, Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pants. It's not the proper follow-up to Bangers. Don't expect that. It's an oddball album produced with the guy from Flaming Lips, Wayne, who she's been working with a lot lately. On a lot of things. Beatles tributes, all that stuff. Is Nicki's confrontation with Miley and Kanye West's epically long speech for Video Vanguard. He tried to make some points. Like, in the beginning it was great, but then he kept lagging, kept going on and on and on. You wish it was the Oscars. Play the fucking music! It just dragged and dragged and dragged. People have their opinions on it. People thought it was epic. All the people thought it was epically egotistical. Even some guys are like, Kanye, shut the fuck up. Stop making yourself look bad. He just ranted and ranted. Even Justin Timberlake, who was named for Kanye, he made some comments that Kanye's like, I stand up for my fellow artists who should win awards. I kind of feel like that, but just kept dragging to me. Performance-wise, some of the big highlights. I was actually surprised by Bieber's performance. The 50 Cent Sugar Hat distracted from it, but with a medley of his hit with Skrillex, Where Are You Now, and his new song, What Do You Mean, his best song in years. I'm glad he got wearing a gangster and went more dancey. Best song in years. And a great performance. I actually liked it. The fly in the end. He was the Justin Bieber vote again. He was very out of breath, but at least he was not lip syncing. That's the only thing about dancing and singing. That's why people lip sync. Brittany. Other good performances. I mentioned The Weeknd. I Can't Feel My Face. Simple but effective. Having people, even Kanye, the grumpy cat of music, to crack a smile and start singing. Tori Kelly's like the breakout. Like she was like a lesser known artist. She had a hit. Might have hit Nobody Love, but her performance of Should Have Been Us is a breakout moment. I realized that when I saw it. I was like, this is her moment. She was actually playing an instrument, and she sounded good. I think she should have gone more instrument arrangement with the song, because she sang it well before the band kicked in, but still, effective. Could make her a bigger star than she is. I love Macklemore's new song. As crazy as Downtown is, I like it. Not as good as Thrift Shop, but still a good song. Better than Pharrell's performance, the screaming didn't help. And the 21 Pilots A$AP Rocky, shitty. More shitty than Miley's performance. I'm sorry, Miley. Please release a proper follow-up to Bangers soon. That collabo album's horrible. Unless you're fucking stoned. That's the only reason you can listen to it. You're fucking stoned. And it did feel like you're on a bad trip. With some various acid references and some racial things. Because Miley Cyrus in one segment called, I think it's Snoop Dogg, Mammy. Which got a lot of black people got all pissed off about that. So there you go. VMAs. I'm tripping off, but an entertaining one nonetheless. But just interesting. Now, while the VMAs were going on last night in a celebration of music videos that MTV doesn't fucking play anymore, the movie world, specifically the horror movie world, mourned the death of one of its legends as the director of such films as Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven died yesterday at the age of 76 following a battle with brain cancer. Survivors include his wife, producer, and former Disney Studios vice president, Aya LaBunka. Like I said, it's very famous for being an innovator of the horror scene. Most notably, like I said, for two big franchises, Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream, creating two iconic horror characters, the Scream Mask guy and Freddy Krueger. And of course, Scream is now a TV series on NTV. One of its final episodes will be taking place and dedicated to the memory of Craven. I just send our thoughts and prayers to the friends and family of Wes Craven at this very sad time. So there you go. And that is it for the Atakline for today. I knew it was going to be long, but thanks for being with me here. With that in mind, you better act by the news from Zach. See you later, yeah.